Somebody in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty! Oh, what a beauty!
Piece against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! And then trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, it's a cracker!
Armstrong played in the game, and a superb goal.
Tony Goody. Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Oh shit. Hello and welcome. Well, there we go. That's much better. Well, apologies as always. I'm in charge, so it's the normal car crash TV. So welcome to this week's weekly podcast. I am Waggy. I am joined as always by Andy and Stu this week of our ladies podcast. We've got a new one scheduled, haven't we? Just while you're here, Stu, a new one going out tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night, 8:00. Penultimate one of the season.
Excellent. So yeah, everybody get on that when that comes out. So tonight, with me being in charge, I've literally sat down about 3 minutes ago and decided that I don't know what we're talking about this week. So it's all going good. We've thrown something together. We've got a brand new debutant fan guest. We'll get him out late and shortly, ask him his questions. We'll talk over the Rotherham game. I think you was on the Courtyard Club call, wasn't you, Stu? This week?
Was, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so we'll touch on that. We'll have a bit of admin. We'll go over the upcoming Easter games and then obviously get in the reses. So hopefully this should give us an hour or so.
And if you think any of that will be in order or as it will be, good luck.
Yeah.
I've got a question actually. Why am I been reduced to the bottom?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, there he is.
He's in the middle.
As long as it keeps you happy, Andy. As long as it keeps you happy.
Oh, you know, small things, Stu. But yeah, hello everybody. Welcome again. And yeah, this is going to be fun.
It certainly is. It certainly is. So, shall we get our fan guest out?
Let's do it.
I know there's a fan guest intro now, but I can't find it as always. So, hello and welcome, Paul. How are we doing this evening?
Yeah. Good evening, gents.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Again, Paul.
So, first things first. This is your first time on the show, isn't it, Paul? So,
it is indeed. Yeah, I think Andy was struggling for guests. He asked me a few weeks ago.
It's getting towards the end of the season. Yeah,
you've been booked in for about 3 months.
It's getting towards the end of the season. We've got to dig through the barrel, haven't we? So we'll get straight into it. You got your questions? Have you got answers for all your questions?
I do. Yeah, I do struggle with favourites though. So it's been a challenge.
We'll get to that. So, your first ever county game. Can you remember who it was, when it was?
I was 5 years and 11 months old. So I vaguely remember going to it, but I don't remember much more than that. And it was George Best's first game in November 75. So I'm a bit of an old man. So my dad took me, but I don't really. I remember the floodlights. I remember lots of people late at night, but beyond that, I don't really remember much about it. But yeah, that was my first game.
Very good.
Favorite? What a game to be your first game.
Oh yeah,
if you can remember it.
Pity you can't remember it a bit more.
Why? No one else is going to remember it.
Remember the goalkeeper, Paul Hopkinson, from that game?
No.
He
doesn't know, Stu.
Yeah, I used to work with him. He was telling me all about when Best played at County.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Story for another day.
So, your favourite ever game?
Yeah, it's tough because there's been lots and lots of crap games, but lots and lots of brilliant games as well. And it was covered in the highlights reel earlier. I end up going for the first game, first City game, the 3-1 in '97. It was just superb. 28 minutes, I think it was. We were 3 up. Curly Watson, Les Battersby leaving the Cheadle end. Yeah, it was just it was brilliant that. But then all the City wins were brilliant. But that one, because it was the first one, and yeah, it was superb.
Yeah, excellent. So we'll leave the player till last then, seeing as though you struggle with that. What's your favourite moment, your best moment, aside from the City game?
Yeah, I kind of went for a favourite goal on that, which ends up being pre-season against QPR, because they were a Premier League team, loads of internationals. It was my birthday weekend. I was 24 that weekend, and we were all in the railway end. And it was, and Precy bangs that in. It was just brilliant that. So it made it a brilliant weekend. Only to be disappointed by the next round against Bristol City, but that would be, in terms of what I'd have my favourite goal. Too many favourite moments. A year ago today, Notts County. There's another one.
Yeah, that's a good one from recent history. So Russ goes off. He's gone off this question a bit now, hasn't he? But your favourite ever player? You can have just a past, or you can have past and present, or you can name a team if you want.
Yeah, you kind of got you struggle to look beyond Kev when you followed us during the '90s. He just did so much for us around that. But that '90s team with Marsden and Tom Bennett, Alan Armstrong, there was some quality in it. And even when we signed people like Gordon Cowles and Derek McInnes at times, just brilliant players, didn't play a lot for us. So I think that any people of my age who followed us through the '90s, we got to see some brilliant players at that point. I actually really liked the 19 National League North team. I thought it was brilliant, that team. We obviously were kind of on the way back up, and it was a tough season with giving Chorley a lead and everything. But everything we did that season and with them, I thought was good. But yeah, in terms of favourite player, it'd be tough to not go with Kevin. And when he was over on New Year's Day when we played Birmingham, and I sponsored the match ball, so I was in corporate. And so nice. I kind of had a chat with him and a picture took with him as well, which is clearly when he's 6'7" and I'm nowhere near that. But there was a group of us, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, it was good. I went to the one previous to that when he came over. He came over, I think it was National League, wasn't it? I think when we was in the National League, I think he came over then, and they had a night then. So
I did that as well. Yeah.
I've got a signed picture of Big Kev there. So yeah, still a big favourite.
I was also at that one, and I was with some friends of ours, and when they did the auction, obviously after having a few drinks, standard, I bid it. I can't remember whether it was a football or signed shirt, but Elite Ginge, he remembered it because he asked me about it a few weeks ago, or reminded me, because I completely forgot about it. But apparently I stood up and bidded something daft like £600 for this ball.
Jesus.
Right? And then my mate was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then luckily someone bid after me and won it. So I was like, yeah, good night. Good night for what I remember anyway.
Well, that ball I won on the raffle that night. That's a signed ball from the National League Champions squad. So
how much did you pay for it?
It was just a raffle ticket. It wasn't an auction.
A raffle ticket.
Yeah,
right,
it was just a raffle.
Right.
It was off the raffle. So yeah, so I won that night as well. So yeah, it was a very good night for me. Enjoyed it.
Nice.
So did you win the ball, Andy?
Did I what?
Did you win the ball?
No. What
No.
ball?
Somebody bid more than £600 for it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because it must have been because I think I put a bid in for just over 500.
Jeez.
Or I just
Did Heather
it must
find
be
out
a
about
signed shit. Pardon?
Did Heather ever find out?
Only if she watched this podcast tonight.
Well, you got outbid, so it's all right. It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
In the end,
And also, And in fairness, she's not watched one since, so I'm hoping that she doesn't.
This will be the only one that she's ever watched. I know. A bat senses will be going, only he said something I need to watch.
The thing is, I'm in the loft and she's downstairs. She could probably hear every word I'm saying anyway.
Very good. Very good. So yeah, Paul, just join in, get involved. We're just, as you say, we're just going to sit here and talk county and shite, generally, maybe not in that order, but we'll do that generally for the next 50 odd minutes. So Rotherham ended up being 3-1. I know obviously said Stu Hughes on the Courtyard Club call, going in depth about that. So have a listen to that if you get a chance. What did you think, Paul? What did you think of that first? Well, it was definitely a game of two halves, but what did you think of it?
Well, I thought we started really well. First 10 minutes, I thought we really lively. Fevs was lively, and then they literally they kind of that one attack and put it in, and that 24, whatever his name was now, he kept diving everywhere. Just got in front of Torrey and banged it in, and you're like, Jesus. And if you listen to Matty Hamshaw's interview afterwards, actually, he was saying that they set up to try and play through the midfield. They thought they could play us through midfield, and I guess when we got Norwood, who's great footballer, but like a bit of pace, they could do it. But then he felt they got too confident. They actually got a little bit cocky around it, and that's he felt that they kind of let themselves down around that. But yeah, it was. I mean, they had another great chance that could they saved as well after that a bit later on. So it looked like it was going to be one of those dismal days. You're thinking, shit, we thought we were going to win this pretty easily, and they've come along. They've won 3 on the bounce. I think you said last week, like against Bolton had like 34 shots or something, and Rotherham still beat them. So you're going, and Diamond steps up, and actually Moxon, people were having a pop at Moxon. I thought Moxon was doing all right in the first half. I thought he was the one who was trying to knit things together a little bit. It wasn't working for him. And Challoner's said in the past about players needing to be brave, and sometimes we're not brave enough. But when they are brave and it goes wrong, then fans get on the back because they got things wrong. I thought Moxon was trying to be brave, actually. And in the end, I think it was that kind of created that opportunity for the first goal. And Diamond's just, there's a player in there. We've just not seen it. The last few games that we're starting to see it. And it was Barry-esque in the way he just stepped inside and slotted into corner. And we just really needed that, didn't we? And then again, listen to Matty Hamshaw's interview. He said second half they were nowhere near it. We just really come out. And it's interesting. Challoner said he bollocked him. I think Brad Hill said in his interview they got a right bollocking. And Challoner said I'll give him 5 minutes, and he gave him 9 minutes, I think, and made the changes. And I think it was we needed that third to settle it down. So it was good that we did get it, and it was great finish. And everyone was saying it was offside, but when you see it, he's definitely onside. So it was great finish. I think last week he was getting a bit of a kicking on this podcast about his missing easy chances. So it's good they didn't miss an easy chance. Otherwise, Andy might have been having another pop at him.
Who said that?
To be fair, Andy, you did also say last week 3-1, and these lot give it a kicking, so you went for 3-0 in the end. So you did all right with that.
To be fair, though, in my defence with the whole Wharton thing, I'll equally say that it's proving me wrong for the second half of the season, as what a lot of people said, he'll come good. So if I can eat humble pie because I've said a comment about any player, I will happily eat that pie just because I like eating. But at the end of the day, they're just, they are just opinions, aren't they? And we all see different things, and that's the beauty of football.
It's all subjective. We're all looking at the same thing, but we see something different, and that's the beauty of football and why we have podcasts. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. But on that note, it's good to know that you watch weekly, Paul. So well done for that.
It was my homework for tonight. I needed to watch last week's.
I like it.
Very good. Did we think it was a penalty before Wootsie's goal?
No chance.
Not a chance.
See, I was sat in the Bagara stand, and I couldn't really see it. It was too far away. But I've seen it back on telly. not a chance. He's not even anywhere near him. He should have been booked for diving, if anything.
Yeah, I think sat in the Cheadle end, I thought it was a penalty first. Initially, when I saw it, the way he went over and the way, because Hills came across him, didn't he? I thought he'd just gone straight through him. And that's when he went down. But his little tantrum afterwards, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was funny.
It was the way he went down, though. It's the way he went down. So there was contact. It was soft. And I've only seen this on the replay because I was about 15 pints in at this point. So I hadn't, to me, I was still laughing the fact that they had a penalty appeal and then we scored off the back end of it, which I just thought was absolutely brilliant. But after seeing the replay, there was slight contact, but then he took a step and then did a weird sort of like his knees had given way, sort of fall over. And I'm like, what? Just...
I don't think it was contact at all. I don't think there was any contact. I think he was close to him, but he slipped and he was looking for it. And again, I've read some of the Rotherham fans and they were actually pissed off because he'd not crossed. He had a good. He put it in, and the other lad was free.
Yeah,
he had done it as well. But yeah, there's a number 10 went down as well.
He was every time anyone came near.
Well, was it Willis or? Wellings.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, they went down a bit too easy, didn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Pye's ball just...
what's a ball?
Adds another note to what's going to come in the summer with him, unfortunately, doesn't it? So
it's looking more and more likely, isn't it? Very hard to keep hold of him. But we'll see.
I don't know. I'm not... We've seen it happen so many times before, haven't we? Where bigger clubs have come in, snapped up our young, hot prospects, and Festus Arthur springs to mind. I don't know. I think... pardon?
Went to Hull, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Hull. Dickinson even, and Anthony Elding even. And I just think that if he would probably benefit more from just another season with us. But football's a short career, isn't it? So you just got to go.
Yeah, that's it. If he gets off with big bucks, you can't blame him for taking it. You can't blame the club for taking the money. Perhaps they'll loan him back to us.
Do you think it depends if we're in the Championship or League One again next year? Or do you think I think I agree. I think when we get promoted, he will stay. Because Championship football over League One is obviously more appealing. I think we're more danger of him going if we don't go up. Mm. Yep. Yeah.
Which is obvious, isn't it, really?
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's really good at the minute now is that Wotton and Tants both are hitting form, aren't they? The right part of the season, and both of them had difficult first halves of the season, I would say. And I think, as you say, Andy, going back probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, I don't think Wotton puts that chance away.
No,
I think that he just, but I think he's outmuscled him, and then got to go back at Brad Hills. What a header that was for the second. It's absolutely superb.
Can I just carry on the Wotton thing?
Yes.
For me, there was 3 players on Saturday, or go back on the Rotherham thing. 3 players on Saturday that just, for me, were just absolutely unreal. Wotton, and I said, and I think it was mentioned in Dave Challen's interview, he looked a totally different striker on Saturday. He looked like he was like a Paddy Madden-esque, where he was wanting to run onto balls. He wasn't trying to back into players. He had to do some of that to hold the ball up at times, but he just looked like he was always ready to go. And he looked a totally different striker, and I thought he was unreal. Diamond, I thought, deserved man of the match. Every attack that he did, it was like, I think it was you that mentioned earlier, Paul. It was like watching Barry-esque. Because every time Barry got the ball and ran with it, everyone was on the edge of the seat, weren't they? And that's what it was like with Diamond. And the other players probably come as no surprise, but Ollie Norwood, take a bow. That was just absolutely...
He was superb, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah, masterclass, wasn't it? Centre mid masterclass.
On his 34th birthday as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah, it was his birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, unbelievable. It's all coming together. All coming together.
It's a bit scary. It's a bit scary to get too ahead of ourselves.
Just going back to Rotherham, though.
Yeah. County fans of a certain age are always like that.
Oh, is it heck? Hey?
I've been there, same as you, Paul. I've been there mid-80s when it was really, really dire. Yeah. Just going back to is what?
We are playing well. You know, we're not just winning games. We're winning games really well. You know, and the team are playing well, and the subs are making a difference when they come on. And then you kind of look forward and you go, we could do it. We could do it. Don't want to think about it, but we could do it.
That's all I think about. And there's no word of could in my sentence. It's thought either. It's we're doing it. We are doing it.
When?
Because I think Dan was mentioned on the Court Your Cup call that, and he broke it down saying that, however, are we on 77 points and Wrexham need another 7 or something. But that's that for me. I'm not dissing what Dan was saying, but it's quite a negative way of looking at it. The way I think, or my brain thinks, is Wrexham lose on Saturday and we win. We're 2 points behind.
And they are.
And then the pressure is well and truly on them then. And even if they draw on Saturday, that's another 2 points drop for them. And the pressure's still on them. And it's nice for a change to be the chasing team.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Normally, we're normally top, aren't we? So it's good.
I think there's every chance that the two of their games will drop points. You know, they might win 2 and draw 2, or win 2, lose 1 and draw. You know, so yeah, I think we'd have to win every single game. You know, we won't do it unless we win every game.
I don't see us losing any games. I see us winning every game. The last 4 games, I see us winning them. Because hopefully Peterborough are still on the piss from winning the cup final, so they'll all be fuzzy, and then Huddersfield, they've gone right off, haven't they? They've dropped right off, and then Lincoln, have they got an outside chance to playoffs, or are they just sort of mid-table-ish?
Yeah, they're a bit like a Rotherham. They're kind of
not really got anything to play for, and then obviously last game of the season, Wickham away, so it could all depend on that. So we are getting a bit ahead of ourselves, Pete.
No, we're not. We're enjoying the party.
Let's just win on Friday. We're saying we're going to win on Friday, and we're going to win all the other games as well. So
I do agree with what Pete's just said. We probably are getting a bit ahead of ourselves, and out of all those games, it's the Friday one that I'm looking over my shoulder at. And then the Monday one, I think Huddersfield can still sneak into the playoffs.
I think we've still got a chance.
I think depending on what happens Friday will depend on how Monday looks. So, but let's just concentrate on Friday. But it's exciting though, really is. I love it. I love this time of the year.
It's good, isn't it? It is good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Well, I'm just looking at it. It's Bolton Wickham. It's Bolton Wickham on Friday. So
Wickham have got a really tough running. Yeah. They've got Charlton as well, haven't they? They've got played Charlton and us, and I think they've got another. They got Reading.
Leyton Orient, I think maybe.
Leyton Orient. Yeah. So they've got like 4 of the top 7, top 8 teams. So that's a really tough running for them.
And I'm massively clutching at straws here, but Bristol Rovers went to the bottom 4 when Burton won on Saturday, so they're going to be up against it, and they play Wrexham on Friday. So I'm clutching at straws, but you know.
No, I'm loving this thinking, Paul.
Like
maybe it's mine and Waggy's optimism rubbing off on you.
Yes, I said it on BBC Radio Manchester on Monday. I still think second place is on. I still think it's on.
And if not second, then I want third. And if not third, I want to finish 6th.
We're not going to finish 6th.
The reason for this is because the 4th and 5th second leg falls when it's my son's first high school year parents' evening.
So it's purely selfish that you want us to either finish second, third, or sixth, not fourth or fifth.
Basically. Yeah.
So let's just. So if we were to finish, let's say, third, if we was to finish third and in the playoffs, I think you talked about it on the Courtyard Club call, Stu. Was out of the teams that are there at the minute, is there anybody you wouldn't want to play? Anybody you're not necessarily scared of, but would prefer not to come across in the playoffs?
I fancy us against anyone. We just look so confident. I said on the club call, the last couple of seasons we've had a bit of a blip towards the end of the season, and it's got a bit scary. But this season, it's just not like that. We just seem to be getting stronger and stronger. You know, having Fev's back, Diamond back, has helped. But yeah, not it's not arrogance or anything, but I don't fear anyone in those playoff positions.
Yep.
The one that if they got 6 and played us Bolton, because they'd have a bit of a buzz about sneaking into the playoffs. You know, they've been in playoffs before. They've got a lot of experience in that. Maybe the squad might not have itself, but a few of them will have. You know, although they've been kind of giving us 6 points, that at times they played pretty well at this season. Also, they're the only ones I look at and go that they'd be on a bit of a bounce and might be wanting to prove a point within that. Hoods, I think I've got a Hoods mate who's coming over on Monday, and he's desperate. He's just saying it's the worst football we played ever. And I think Reading, I think again, he talked last week about the troubles they're in. Actually going up would be even worse for them. I'm not saying the players would not care about it, but if in 6th place, Bolton would be the one I'd go. Could be interesting that.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, it's Wickham 3rd, we're 4th, Charlton 5th, Reading 6th, all on 42 games. Bolton are 8th, Leyton Orient are 7th, both on 66 points. But their goal difference is pretty rubbish. Both of them. Well, Bolton's is only +1.
Jeez.
Leyton Orient is 18, and Reading in 6th place on 69 points is 8. So
I think, are we doing it? Are we having this sort of like hypothetical conversation depending on how it is now, or are we looking at it? Because if we don't finish second, I want Wickham to go up. I do not want Wrexham in that second spot.
Why not?
Because it's Wrexham.
Because it's Wrexham. And if it's in the stars, I want to play them in the final.
Ooh. Fair enough. That'd be good fun.
I'm in the camp of let them piss off, get to the Championship, let the circus go with them. Honestly, I'm happy if we stay in this division and get ourselves ready for next year for a proper tilt at it. Get rid of Wrexham. Right. And I think they'll struggle like hell next year, particularly if they keep Parkinson, which I think they will. I think they'll really struggle in that league. So let them go up and enjoy that, and then we'll be without them for a season.
I 100% agree with you there, Paul. I would rather we had a good playoff run, get to Wembley. All right, if we lose, we lose. It's a day out on the bay, watch a game of football, come back next season and enjoy the season even more for going up in the top 2.
Fair enough. Just noticed a comment here from Nick 10. I obviously I don't know anything about this. They've got the figures, but anyone noticed when Lincoln have been last home game of the season, County have been promoted. So that's if that's a true fact. If anybody can back that up, then it's guaranteed, isn't it? It's nailed on. There we go.
Well, to be fair though, to be fair, I want second. I think we'll do second. And if it's playoffs, it's not the cliche of it's a free hit, but it kind of is though. Now we're nearly there. We'll all take promotion, won't we? Every single one of us.
Yeah, 100% we would. Yeah,
but if we don't get it, we kind of never really any of us wanted it. If that makes sense, like we know that our season is next season, so it's.
Yeah.
I just totally agree with what you said as well, Stu. It's the enjoy the promotion party if we don't finish second, and I think it will be more relaxing losing at Wembley than it was when we lost against Carlisle.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because we know that there's a good chance we're going to come back stronger.
Yeah,
and Neil Deakin winning at Wembley ain't all it's cracked up to be. Ask Carlisle.
I've not even seen their results. Are they? I know they're close to being relegated.
I think there's 6 points adrift or something.
They beat Morecambe last week. There's a bottom two played each other, and I think I'm fairly certain they got Walsall this weekend, and Walsall are in relegation form since 4th of Jan.
Yeah,
it's shocking how they've dropped. So that they'll be kind of hoping to, but it's too big a gap, I think, for Carlisle to get out of it. I think Accrington Accrington and Tranmere. That's it. Last week it was a bottom two, and then 3 and 4 Accrington, and it was Accrington went 3 and up, and Tranmere come back to 3-all. But yeah, I think it's looking like Carlisle. But yeah, I mean they're absolutely screwed, aren't they? After a season up and then straight down again.
They've got Port Vale this weekend.
Port Vale, is it? Sorry. Yeah, and they're firing actually, aren't they?
They are.
Carlisle are 6 points adrift of safety with 4 games left.
Anyway, we're not talking about them. It's all about Stockport. No. So, anything else to add around the Rotherham game? I think we've pretty much covered that. I think we're all good. So, a little bit of admin. The only admin that we have, or I have, is, we mentioned earlier, the ladies' podcast is out at 8:00 tomorrow night. That'll be out for everybody, and I will hand over to Andy to continue with the admin.
What now? Are you not doing any fancy intro or anything? No.
You've had it.
Oh, right. Okay.
What do you want, fireworks?
Just basically another mention about the 5-4-3-1 walk. They've currently now raised over 3,700, I think is that, which is just amazing because I think about 5 days ago it was at like 1,600. I know their initial goal was to raise. I saw an interview that Dave Thompson did in the week was about £1,000 per charity, and now they've got over that. They've upped it to like 6,000. So basically, I'm pretty sure everyone knows about it already. But the 5-4-3-1, 5 blokes, which is Dave Thompson, Steve Cunningham, Jamie Redding, Dave Wardle, and Eddie Owen, are raising money for Stockport County Community Trust, Pure Insight 1628, and Mentel. They're basically walking from Peterborough all the way through, after the Peterborough game, all the way through back to Edgeley Park for the Huddersfield game on Easter Monday. And it's just staggering. It really is staggering. And I know, I don't know Dave Wardle and Eddie Owen, but obviously Jamie's my brother. I know Dave Thompson very well, and Steve Cunningham obviously is part of our partnership with the ECCC. So we've got to know Steve very well over the last year or so, and absolutely all brilliant blokes, and doing it for 3 amazing charities. And the public can get involved as well. So I think from about is it Whaley Bridge area? Now you know a little bit about this, don't you, Paul?
Yeah, I've been helping them with the route and stuff. So I think on Monday they're going to. Tom will put a keep calling it Twitter tweet out earlier with a video, and he's going to produce some graphics. So it's from where they're in Buxton to Whaley Bridge. There's a time they'll be at Whaley Bridge, and then from Whaley Bridge to Lyme Park, meeting some people at Lyme Park if they want to do it, and then Lyme Park down to the Bamford, I think, and then the kind of last mile. So people can join in at those particular stops. Are going to wait for people around that. Yeah, no, it's going to be a huge effort for them to do. I was quite happy helping in the background rather than actually doing it.
Yeah.
Well, they were on the BBC as well, weren't they? It's covered by the BBC this week.
Oh, right.
There was an article on BBC News I saw. I think Scouse, Steve Cunningham's on Radio Manchester tonight. He was saying to me as well. So yeah, they're getting some coverage around, which is really good. So yeah, no, I think it's great, and it's good that they're doing it for the different charities as well. And you know, Tom has said, you know, whilst it's for mental, he wants to do it for the county as well, and the community trust for the lot of support he's had around that, which is great. So no, I think fingers crossed the weather's going to be okay for them. You know, it's not going to be peeing down for them, and yeah, it's going to be from leaving. I said to them, hopefully Sky will help you and move forward the Peterborough game to 12:30 and move Huddersfield back to 5:30, but they haven't helped out at all, so they're stuck with what they've got.
Yeah, it's I remember the training that was involved for Blackpool. So, and me and Jimmy from the podcast will be meeting them at Lion Park. We were going to do the Buxton, the Whaley Bridge, but then we looked at the mileage and we're like, that's like half of what we did on the first day. Nah. So we thought Lion Park would be a good shout. So if anyone's joining Lion Park, we'll see you there. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's just, I love anything like this. It takes a lot of training, takes a lot of mental, preparation as well. It's just absolutely brilliant. So if you haven't sponsored, the links are all out there. We'll post on our socials as well. Get sponsoring. And if anything, I think the biggest thing when anyone's raising money for charities, the money is obviously brilliant and fantastic, but I think the awareness is the most important thing for any charity. And the more people the more people that are aware and with what's happening for all three charities and all charities across the board, then that is probably the most important thing. But I'll say on behalf of the podcast, thank you for your donation so far, because it means a lot to all five of them that are doing it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've not got the link, so I can't post it in the comments. But we'll put it all on the socials. It's already out there. We'll repost it and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely brilliant cause, brilliant thing to do. And just a quick one for you, Stu.
Yes.
Liam Walker, can I just say to Stu, I'm guessing, well done for all the hard work he's doing for the county ladies. So yes, good shout out for you as well there, Stu.
Cheers, Liam. Much appreciated, mate. It's been, I won't talk too much, Waggy and Andy. It's been great doing it. First season doing it. A bit of trial and error has gone into it. But as we've gone on, we've developed the pod a little bit. We've raised awareness of, or increased the profile of the ladies team. And I think you're seeing more interaction from the club itself, from county themselves, since we started that. I'm not saying it's all down to us, but they've certainly sort of started posting more about them. So cheers anyway, Liam. Appreciate that, mate.
Yep. Good. So moving on, the obviously Easter games. So we've got Peterborough away on Friday and then Huddersfield at home. What are we expecting for Peterborough away, Paul? What do you think? Do you think it'll be an easy game, hard game? Hopefully they're still pissed.
Hoping that, like you say, hoping they celebrated Sunday's game and still celebrating the win from Wembley. So that'll be helpers. I think they've scored. It might be something like 67, conceded 72 or something.
Right.
So they score goals but concede as well. And when we played them at home, I think it was a Friday night before Christmas, wasn't it? We played them at home, and there were some Peterborough fans in the croft, and they were saying it's crazy to watch because it can be good fun, but equally can be frustrating because they try and play it out from the back and they get caught, a bit like we were doing it sometimes early in the season. So could be a bit of a goal fest, I reckon. Well, I think we'll win. And I don't know, 4-1, 4-2, something like that. I think we're going to win. I think again we'll get off to a good start like we have been doing, and quieten them down. I think we'll have a decent crew there. I think we've pretty much sold out. So 1,500 or something there.
Oh, that'll be good.
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
You always know when it's a sellout, Paul, don't you? Because sorry to overtalk you there, Waggy.
Good.
Because on the coach group, there's about 50 messages saying any spares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What are you thinking, Andy?
7-0. No, it's the game I am looking over my shoulder at, to be fair, just because of what Paul said. They are known for scoring goals. I didn't realise they were that leaky at the back, but that's music to my ears because, touch wood, we're not so leaky at the back at the moment, and we score goals. Also, we're scoring goals. So, but I am looking over my shoulder. We need to. For me, I'd just like to win. I don't care how. I'd like a performance either first or second half, but I'd just like to win just to cement that playoff place. Because I think that will then be even though something would have to go. In fact, I'm not even going to say the next bit.
We're in the playoff. We are in the playoff. There's no doubt.
It's still nice to hear those. It's we've got that top six finish. In our first season back in League One. So, but yeah, confident. Ish.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Stu?
Yeah, confident. Like the lad said, I'm going to go for 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, did you give us a score, Andy? Apart from G 7-0.
Oh no, I didn't actually. No, so I'm going to go for. Anytime I give a score, you go, "Oh, you're pulling that one out again." Like,
well, are you going to say 3-1?
I'm going to go 3-2.
3-2. Okay.
that in between.
All right, then I'll go 3-1. Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. As you say, it's going to be if they score and concede as you said, Andy. We don't concede many. We conceded against Rotherham, but we don't concede generally. And I think even now you look at the Rotherham game, we went behind, and I think earlier in the season sometimes we've gone behind and we sort of not fall apart, but struggle to get back into the game. And I think now when you look at that Rotherham game, is that we can go 1-0 down and still come back and be strong enough to put a team to the sword. So yeah, looking forward to that. As you say, I think that's for me that's our hardest of the last 4 games. I think the way that the other teams have been playing. I think Wickham have dropped off a bit, haven't they?
But it's also the only one where, because the last 3 they all beat us in the first game. We had no points from them. So we do all those final 3 something for the defeats they give us early in the season. But I think we'll be all right. I think it'd be a good Friday. See what I've done there.
Yeah, and there's no team that has done the double over us so far. So there's only, as you say, Lincoln, Huddersfield. Did we draw at Huddersfield, didn't we, or did we get beat?
No, we lost.
We lost.
Yeah.
So yes,
did you miss Paul's pun there, Waggy?
Did what?
You missed Paul's pun, didn't you?
I did.
It'll be a good Friday.
I did hear it, and just thought it was very.
Just chose to ignore it.
Just carried on. Just carried on. It was a good comment.
I was expecting some sort of like boom.
Okay.
No, then no.
I've left me drum outside. Sorry, Andy.
Oh, sorry, mate. Oh, okay. Sorry, Paul.
You can only try.
Yeah, if Russ was here, you probably would have got a full-on,
Well, Russ isn't here, so tough shit. You get what you're given.
We know that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so, and then obviously Huddersfield at home. I think the lads are doing the Courtyard Club call. They're going to do one on Saturday morning, try and get that out on Saturday for you, so you can digest that before the Huddersfield game on Monday. And yeah, are we ultra confident as well against Huddersfield, Andy? I'll start with you so it starts positive.
Why? Who's it ending negative with?
Well, I don't know. He's just trying to pull these to what we would see, whether or not they're fully positive or a bit more pessimistic.
I'm going for 2-0 on Monday.
2-0. Okay. You think it'll be a tough game? Do you think it'll be easy?
I think, yeah. Again, it's hard to look past Friday for me, just because I'd like to see what happens with Friday's fixtures. Because if Huddersfield win on Friday, they're right back in the mix for playoffs, which makes our game. I'm not saying it would have been an easy game anyway, because even if you're playing a team that has nothing to play for, like the Rotherhams and Exeters, they're not always. It's a given, is it? So I'd say right now, if we were playing them now, I'd say it'll be a comfortable sort of 3-1, 3-0. But now I'm on the thinking of if they win on Friday, then it's going to be a 2-1, 2-0 to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Anything to add around that, Paul?
I was going to read a message from my mate who's coming over on Monday. He's really looking forward to it, although we've been totally FC UK this season. Although we have totally FC UK this season up now and really deserve nothing from it. Only bright point is a couple of our better players are coming back from injury. We've got Cambridge at home on Good Friday. And Cambridge, I think, are pretty much gone. I'm more nervous about Monday.
Okay.
I think it could be, they'll walk away with a point, very happy. I think it could be tough. I'm hoping we scrape it. I'm hoping that I'm being too pessimistic. I'm a bit nervous. And it probably doesn't help my mates coming over and he'll be able to take the piss out of me if we don't beat.
That's always the bad one, isn't it? If you've got a mate from an opposite team, then you know you're just going to get pure grief all the time.
So, we've got family in Huddersfield. So, yeah. If we don't win this, then, I'll be getting the grief as well, mate.
There we go. So it's got to be a 2-0 win.
Yeah. Well, Huddersfield are 22nd in the form table in the last 5. And
they've really dropped off, haven't they?
Oh, they've lost.
That's us losing then.
Yeah. They've lost 6 of the last 8.
That is such a county comment, Andy, isn't it?
I know. I was waiting for the klaxon.
Brilliant. Anything else anybody wants to add around Easter, the Easter games or anything like that? I think we're all done, aren't we?
Yeah, nothing.
So we're only at 10-2. How's that? Seems to have flown by, but not gone very fast. I don't know how that works, but
time flies when you're having fun, Waggy.
It certainly does. But the only thing is, I've only got one thing left on the agenda, and that's getting the reses.
We've got. We could have a quick chat about the Player of the Year. That all the meltdown already. The Challoner, or why is Parky not winning? All of them sort of thing. Meltdown, social meltdown.
Yeah, it's the EFL Awards, isn't it, tonight?
Oh, right, okay, right. I say I've been digging my garden up all week, so I've not actually been on Twitter or on anything. So is this for Manager of the Year from the League One Manager of the Year?
Yeah, it's that same argument again where they announced them 4 games before the end of the season's even finished. So
who's up? So who's up for the Manager of the Year award then? Have somebody got a list?
Yeah, so it's Parkinson, Chris Davies at Birmingham, Parkinson at Wrexham, Nathan Jones at Charlton, and then it's Richie Wellens at Leyton Orient for getting them to the edge of playoffs. So I think that's the one that everyone's going. In even if you look on social media, even non-county fans are going. How is it him not Challoner who's doing it? Other people are saying no Whelan at Reading for everything he's done there with the crap that they've been facing.
Yeah.
Whether he would have had a chance, but a couple of things on that is this he has to wait till the end of the season. It's always been like that. I remember as a kid, it was early in terms of PFA play. I think they'll vote for PFA play or whatever it is in like February or something. You know, so they kind of. I know everyone got the knickers in a twist because County were going to do Player of the Year on the 12th of April, and everyone was getting angry about it. You know, I think everyone's been doing it in the last few days anyway. So you know, you can't wait to end the season. The players need a break. You know, they need to be able to kind of plan things and get moved on and not be worried about whether or not they're upsetting a few fans for not getting their player of the year thing sorted out. But I think, you know, Challoner not being in it, even if he was in it, I don't think he deserves to win it. So the fact he's not nominated, largely irrelevant. It saves him having to go down to London or somewhere, whatever he's got. The awards are going to be tonight.
It's a bit of a nonsense, though, isn't it? Whatever formulation they use, or whether it's just a case of, well, it feels like he's done all right. It's a load of nonsense, because if they're saying Charlie's not in it because he's had money to spend, well, so's Davis, so's Parkinson.
Yeah.
But then you say, so all right, we take the money side out of it. You say that, what's his name at Leyton Orient's in it. Well, he's spent a few quid and they're not in the playoffs, whereas we are. So how can, it sounds like ass, but I'm actually not. But it's just a nonsense the way they do it.
No, I was like, I'm not bothered either. But we can still like talk about, have opinions on whether what we think about it. Like, it can't be based on how well you play football, because Wrexham are in it, and let's face it, they are boring.
For me, I would say I wouldn't have the Birmingham manager, because he's spent fucking 30 million. So you'd expect them to do well. If they've not, if they're not winning, if they've not won the league, then that's a bad season for them. For me, if they hadn't won the league, should I say?
Yeah,
Wrexham, yes, because they've come straight back up. They've come straight up.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I'm joking about the Wrexham thing, but in fairness, Parky's done a stellar job getting them to second where they are now. So
I'd say Wickham manager as well. I think he deserves being there, because they've not had a lot of money to spend, have they? They've not spent a lot of money.
The problem is that the manager who's got them top then went off to, did he go to Luton, I think? He changed manager and within that, so that doesn't help. Interesting thing is young player of the season. Have you seen that?
No, go on. Give us the options.
So Richard Coney from Wickham, Tyler Bindon from Reading, and a certain Louis Barry.
Hey?
Yeah, is he not still third or fourth in the scoring? He's scorer.
He's the top five now, I think.
Top five, right?
Yeah, there's a few gone above him.
There.
But he's young season League One nominee. But he's not played since what?
January.
Boxing Day or just after?
Yeah.
Rotherham, I think, wasn't it? His last game.
Yeah, that's because Ethan Pye's had a pretty poor season, I think.
Yeah, it's been rubbish, hasn't he, Ethan Pye?
Yeah, definitely. He's the worst player in our team. I don't know how he plays every week. So any other teams listening, use that. Don't need to scout him. Just take it as read. He's shit.
Yeah. Don't come around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is I don't think they explain the reasons why and the reasons why not. Everyone just then makes their own version of the truth around it. Anyway, it does feel a bit odd, that we've come up and yes, we've got money. I think Davis has had loads of money, but he's delivered what they needed him to do, and he's delivered it easily. So you kind of say he's done what he should have done within that. So I don't even know who decides nominees and who judges it within that. But Richie Wellens, they got to they get to the fifth round of the FA Cup and play City, but I don't think it deserves a nomination over Challoner. But it is what it is.
I think for me, if I could give it anyone, I don't even know his name, but I'd give it to the Reading manager, because what they're going through and to be in that last place for playoffs, just wow. Half the team are kids. Yeah. And I'm not going to use the cliche, you don't win anything with kids, because we know how well that went all those years ago. But for me, what a job he's done. And but yeah.
That's a good point, that, Andy, because it's not just the fact of, I mean, you're right. Yeah, they have got kids in the side, but when a club's in that kind of mess, it kind of filters through onto the pitch, doesn't it? As we well know.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as things start going down the pan off the pitch, it somehow, some way affects what goes on the pitch. But the Reading managers managed to get a tune out of all the players still.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details, but it's an absolute calamity at Reading. Different circumstances, but stuff we went through years ago. They tried to sell the training ground to Wickham until they found that there was a clause in it that only Reading could ever use the training ground. So even Wickham bought it, they could never actually use it. So they couldn't get rid of that. They can't. I think it's something like they can't pay fees for players, and there's a rule about what contracts they can issue. Also, they've been really hamstrung in terms of, and obviously they got rid of Sam Smith in January to Wrexham for a couple of million. But I think that allowed them then to sign a couple of players. But they've been absolutely hamstrung around that. So you're right. I think Noel Whelan's done a great job to keep them up and a chance of the playoffs with everything they've been going through.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Just going back to what you say of who does the nominations, Paul. Is it any chance who comes up with the shortlist? It's the referees, because they don't know what they're doing either.
That's one thing that we've not mentioned about the Rotherham game, was it? The referee, he was dreadful, but it was the same referee that we had at Northampton that gave that dodgy free kick.
Yeah, and I think,
I think a lot of people have said that he went the opposite way. He seemed to just give every single foul in that Northampton game, didn't he? Everything was a foul. Every time it was all about him, whereas this time he just seemed to let everything go. Unless you were near enough snapping the player's legs, it was never a free kick. He just seemed to went the opposite way. And again, he just didn't seem to, he always seemed to be 15 yards behind the play for me. It was
laughable. There was that one where it was going out for, sorry, Stu, you go.
Oh, sorry, Paul. No, I was just going to say, he can't keep up. What's his name? Swarsbury is his name?
Yeah.
Sort of tends to just run in that middle third of the pitch. And that's it. He doesn't move side to side, box to box. He doesn't do any of that. He's just useless. Anyway, sorry, go on, Paul.
So laughable that bit. Towards the end of the game, and ball was going out for a throw in, and Collar pushed their lad, so it hit the lad and went out for a throw in for us, right in front of the liner. And the liner gave a throw in to us, and everyone in two lines laughing, going, "That's Collar's pushed in there. It's a free kick." And it took the referee 10 seconds to kind of decide to blow up and give a free kick to them, which was the right thing to do. But it was a joke that I mean. Yeah, we'll get on to getting the reses in a minute.
Yeah, that line outside in front of the main stand, he was a joke. We were sat, obviously, in the main stand, like I say, and there was twice they had players who were clearly offside. You could see right down the line, they were offside. The linesman stood right in front of us, so he can see it. And twice he didn't give it. It's dreadful.
It is. It is. But that's... we have talked about it before, haven't we, where they have got a tough job. They're going to make mistakes, but it's just when the mistakes are so blatantly obvious, that's when it gets frustrating for us as fans.
And the obviously the apology and everything that we got against after the Northampton game for all that around that free kick and everything like that. And then in literally, a handful of games, is there refereeing us again? I thought that they'd have kept him away from us. To be honest, I was very, very surprised when we seen that it was the same referee, and it was still a shit. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous. So shall we do get in the reses?
Let's do it.
Get in the reses.
Come on, get in reses.
Get in the reses.
Get in reses.
That's rubbish. Get in reses.
I'm not having that. Get in reses.
You found a button.
I found a button. You may have noticed I've been looking for it for 5 minutes. That's why I've been quiet.
I that's why I jumped in and thought I best do a bit of hosting here because Waggy's doing something obvious that he isn't listening. I'm having your job. I'm having your job.
I'm going to say, Andy, Waggy, I've got the buttons
there you
here.
go. There you go, Andy. For all the audio listeners who aren't watching, I've just put Andy into the hot seat. So you carry on, Andy.
In fairness, Waggy, my red button turns my PC off. I don't do anything else.
Very good. So I'm guessing that you've got your normal 2, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll start with you. We'll give us your footballing related one, and we'll come back to you at the end.
Okay, so everyone may know that I have quite a tendency, like a curious tendency, which is, I don't know what's going on with my glasses, by the way. I have a tendency to be quite curious, which in layman's terms is nosy, but not in a gossip way. Just I'm not a fan of gossip. I'm just nosy. So got chatting to a guy who me and him have had the same season ticket next to each other for pretty much all season. And for the first time on Saturday, we got chatting to each other. But I've always noticed him and always know who he is because he sits there with his laptop. So I've always thought, who takes a laptop to a game? And I can't throw him in because he's a really nice guy. And I'm not going to name any names, but Adam, if you're watching, I can't throw you into the reses. But what I am throwing in is your laptop. Not because of what you're doing, because he explained to me what he's doing. He works, for a company where he has to send out orders. So he gets a message on his phone, and then he has to send an order out within a certain time. Now, that bit I get. What annoys me is that every time he opens his laptop, I'm like, oh, I want to have a see what he's doing. And I miss key moments of the game because he's opening his laptop. And it reminds me of when I was a kid and goes back to me and my brothers used to wine one of my other brothers. I've got 5 brothers. And when someone walks past the window in your front house and someone goes like that, everyone else in the room goes like that because they want to know who's going past the window. So it's exactly the same with the laptop. He opens his laptop. I have an instinct to just turn to my left to see what he's doing. Oh, we've scored. I've missed it.
So realistically, we're putting you in the reses because you're a nosy get.
No. Why would I put myself in the reses? No, I'm putting...
That's what it sounds to me. That's what it sounds to me.
Yeah.
No, I'm putting his laptop in the reses.
But you're following it in because you'll be looking at it.
Pardon?
How does he get the Wi-Fi signal, Andy? Because the signal, especially in the Cheadle end, is absolutely atrocious, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never taken a laptop in there.
You've got your phone, though, haven't you?
I'm always all right with my phone. I've never had issues in the Cheadle end.
Yeah, I've never had issues. You
saying.
sit in the main stand, don't you?
Don't know. Depends where I can catch your ticket from.
Sorry, Andy. I was just saying that if his laptop is going in the reses, aren't you following it in because you'll still be looking at it?
So, Paul, you're our debut guest. Shall we move on to Paul's getting the reses? You bastard.
Sorry, Andy, you can get in the reses. You're right. So, sorry, Paul.
It's all right. No worries. Shall I then? You've probably had it before. You've probably had it before, but it still continues. Therefore, it needs to be reminded to go in. And it's not Ken Boxall himself, but it's what he says at the end of every game. And I've been, and many of us have been, to lots of away games and always managed to find ourselves the way out of the ground. I've never got lost coming out of the ground. But somehow, Ken has to say, can you walk down the steps? Rotherham fans, just a reminder, walk down the steps, walk up the yellow steps, effectively the way you came in. And we're in the upper tier 3 going, it's not effectively the way you came in. It is the way they came in.
Yeah.
And he actually, remember, he didn't do it against Blackpool. And we played Stevenage on the Tuesday and we're going, see that Blackpool fan then? He couldn't find his way out.
He still sat there for the Shrewsbury game.
tell him who it was. So yeah, so I'm sure he's not his decisions to do it. He's probably just got a note on his piece of paper that he's never been reminded to not say it. But every time he says it, we just think, what's going on? Why could people not leave a football ground the way they came in without being told by Ken Vauxhall that's the way to leave the ground? So that needs to go in the reses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has been. Sorry, go on, Stu. Carry on.
I was just going to say, is it not because you can turn right? So if you're in the railway end, you can go down at the bottom, turn right, and go out that way, and you're on Ardcastle Road.
I think it'd be a good point. But he does it. But he does it when he does it in terms of when they're in the pop side as well.
Yep.
It doesn't matter where they are. Right. He always says it.
Yeah.
But you know, even Rotherham football fans are intelligent enough to know that way I came in is pretty much the way I'm going to be walking out up onto Dogshit Alley. It is.
Ooh.
Yes.
There's a clip in if I've ever seen one.
I think I'm pretty sure that, I think it has been in the reses before. And I think when we interviewed him earlier in the season, I think we did mention that. And it's just one of those things that he has to say. Not necessarily.
No other football club does it.
Well,
no other football club does it. It's only us who do it. Anyway,
which they did. Wish they did, because when I go to away games, I have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah, but that's because you're pissed. It's not because you do anything else.
No, I know. So I would like someone to say, just even a personal message for me, Andy Redding, please, please come in about the way you came.
Just have a sign in front of your seat, neon sign, Andy Redding, follow these signs.
Yeah. Yeah, but I agree. It's not, like you say, Paul, it's not what is being said. It's just that wording of effectively.
Yeah,
because it is just
the way you came in. It's like, no, it is the way you came in. There's no effectively about it. But yes, well, I'm sure it will continue because it amuses us for 30 seconds about the 85th minute of every game.
Yeah.
Does it now annoy you when he doesn't say it though?
I noticed against Blackpool said he's not said it. Why has he not said it? Is he all right?
Brilliant.
Maybe they do an IQ test of the fans first. Maybe Blackpool fans passed it, and that's why they didn't need to do it.
Yeah, maybe you should have like the like, how satisfied are you with your visit to this store, and just get them to press that on the way in. How satisfied are you with Edgeley Park? And if they put like shit, then he has to say it. If they put good, then we let them know because they seem all right.
I think it's to do with segregation though, and keeping the police bill down. In all seriousness,
you're being too analytical about this.
Yeah, you're thinking about it too much.
You're thinking too much.
Have you ever been to an away game and had that message told to you at an away game? Ever?
But there are two ways out of the railway end, aren't there? And if a load of them go the wrong way and it kicks off,
but
I'd argue,
as Paul said though, even when we've only given them the 2 blocks in the pop side, he still says it for that, and there's only one way out for the pop side.
Is Stuart the only person who's tried to get something out of the reses before we've even agreed that it's going in the reses?
Well, that's what you say. You say it's been thrown in before. Somebody's dragged it back out because it's still happening. So,
yeah,
I think Stuart dragged it out last time it went in.
I mean, to be honest, we're not that influential that we can actually get things changed by putting stuff in the reses. I'll just put that on paper.
There's about 10 lads fishing out a laptop at the moment.
It'll be for sale for 30 quid in the Con Club on Friday night.
Yeah, at an auction.
Andy will bid 500 quid for it.
Love it.
Brilliant. Yes, that could go in. Stu, do you have a get in the reses?
I haven't, to be honest. I've not thought of one.
Oh.
I've got a non-football related one, if I can have that.
Go on then. Andy can have it, so you can have one.
Oh, cheers, Waggy. So I was on the train coming home from Manchester tonight, and there's a bloke. So it's a packed train, rush hour. There's a bloke on the phone to his mum or whoever. She's been to the doctor's or somewhere for some appointment. And he's got her on speakerphone. The whole carriage can hear the whole conversation. Do you know what I mean? Whether she's been to the doctor's or whatever, that's irrelevant. But it's, mate, put the phone to your ear like a normal person.
Quietly.
Stop being a knobhead. Just put the phone
What were
to
they
your ear.
talking about?
She's been for some tests.
Being curious again.
It's been a nosy get again.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's been for some tests or something, and she wasn't getting the results until a week on whenever.
What kind of tests? Is she all right?
Fuck off, Andy.
No, she was quite upset about it. I'll be honest with you. She was quite upset. She was having a bit of a rant. I was actually thinking about Waggy's rant while she was doing it. She was having a proper rant. And I was like, mate, can you not see it?
Yeah.
Everyone in the carriage is looking at you going, turn your speaker off, put your phone to your ear, you knobhead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people who speak like that, you know, with the phone down here on speakerphone, they can get in the reses.
Yep.
Yep, definitely. That can have it. So I have a get in the reses. It's one that I put
hang on, Mum. Just a second. Go on, carry on, Waggy. Carry on.
Is your mum listening? Hiya, Mum.
Yeah.
So I've got pundits making out that the run into the season is different to any other season in history. When they interview players or managers, they all say the same. Then they reply all the same. Sorry, saying, "Oh, we're taking it one game at a time. We don't look at the league. We're not going to celebrate until it's mathematically done." And then the pundits are all like, "Oh, wow, amazing. Look how professional they are. Look, it makes so much difference this season than being like that." No, it fucking doesn't, because it's the same for every fucking team that's in a promotion chase that gets interviewed, isn't it? Every manager, every player from Premier League all the way down probably to National League North or below. If you get interviewed towards the end of the season and you're in the chance of getting promoted, then you're going to go, "Oh, we're only taking it one game at a time." That's what we've been told to say. That's what we're going to say. So they're always professional. And for the pundits to jump on it and go, "Oh, look how different this season is for them because they're being professional." No, it's the fucking same for every season. So just fucking stop being wankers and trying to sensationalize and make it out as if that it's anything different, the way that these players are being interviewed or the answers that they're giving from any team when they're in a promotion chase. So that can definitely get in the reses. They're just fucking idiots.
I'll tell you what, we still need a transition that's Waggy's rant.
See, I didn't actually think that I was gonna rant about that. I thought it was just gonna be quite a pleasant, but no, further I got into it, then it just
you just wound yourself up, didn't you?
I did. I wound myself up, so I had to go with it.
Yeah. Just let it out, Mark. Let it out.
So yeah, that could definitely get in the reses. Had enough of them. So now I can breathe. I'm back in the room. What's your other Zed? What's your getting the reses, Andy? Your non-football related.
So my non-football related one this week is so right. So if you're in the back end of nowhere, countryside, and you don't know where you are in your car, and you think, "Oh, perfect! I've got sat nav. I'll put my sat nav on." Put your sat nav in. You're going, and you literally the first command that he says is head northeast down Barnfield Road. Right. Hang on a minute. First off, I'm putting the sat nav on because I have no idea where I am or how to get to a place. Second of all, I'll just get my compass out, shall I, and follow which direction northeast is. And second of all, if I knew where Barnfield Road is, I wouldn't need sat nav on in the first place. So, what person in, I would say, my generation would turn a sat nav on and know, or look in anywhere and go, "Oh yeah, that's northeast or that's northwest," or you've got to know where north is all the time.
Does your sat nav not have a little compass on it to show you what direction?
Doesn't on mine.
Yeah, but you're right. Okay, let's say it does, and I've never noticed it. Right? But you're not looking at the compass to then work out, are you? You're looking at, you're hearing for the sounds, aren't you, really, while she's driving? And you have quick glances at the sat nav. I don't want to then have to look at the sat nav, listen to the sound, and then look at a compass to make sure that the commands given is the same one that the compass is pointing in the right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and by that point, you're 300 yards past the junction.
Yeah. I'm then getting constant reminders to do an illegal U-turn to go back to Barnfield Road or wherever I'm going.
On the basis that you were lost and you've driven that way in, the only advice I can give you is effectively follow the way you came in. You'll be all right. You'll sort yourself out.
That is classic. That is absolutely classic.
Yeah. Can I guess you a round of applause that one, Paul? Brilliant, yes.
If that isn't the name of the podcast title, there's something wrong. Effectively the same way you came in.
I was just going to say that, Andy. That's got to be the title.
You won't be lost then, will you? It works every week. You never see a lost away fan at County.
No,
brilliant.
But you'll always see an Andy Redding lost in his car somewhere, because he's not followed the sound advice.
Car park in the back of nowhere. That's a different podcast. Car park in the back of nowhere.
Well, in fairness, I did use the analogy of back end of nowhere. It could be me going down to the shops, couldn't it? Really?
Yeah.
But yeah. Northeast.
There's northeast.
I didn't ask for the listeners, watchers to give us their getting the reses, but Nick 10 does raise a good point. I don't know if anybody remembers seeing this. The first team sheet out on Saturday hastily deleted that had Collar in the starting lineup and on the bench. It got quickly taken offline, didn't it? And then redone because it actually said the same lineup as last week, didn't it? And it had Collar in twice. So that can get in the reses. So I think we did talk about it on Saturday. It was like, hey, how could it be the same lineup if Collar's there? And then it was like, hold on, Collar's on the bench as well. So, right. That is everything. Thank you very much, chaps. Thank you, Paul, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you, as always, Andy and Stu. And hopefully Russ will be back and it'll be a much more professional outfit and podcast from next week. Generally it is. And then until he gets sick of it and he wants to drop the figures and he'll let me be in charge again. So thank you, everybody. Probably not. No. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. See you, everyone.
Cheers,
bye.
Lads. See you later.
Thanks.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you. Bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts, and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and more. You can find us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!